All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, lovely people. Also, freedom all over the world, and happy Sunday once again. Yes, on Let's Talk TV, we are wishing you a wonderful, happy Sunday. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you've not yet subscribed, and make sure you turn on your notification because we will be giving you updated news this week, even as a lot of things will be happening in Biafran territory. Before I go into what I want to say on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, I saw a video of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and when I listened to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu again, I started having goosebumps, at the kind of intelligence that guy possessed. People don't understand what is driving people like Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa, to make sure that they fight for freedom. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu spoke to a point that I now realize that you see Nigeria cannot work. Let's just face reality right from right from the creation of Nigeria, the amalgamation, by Frederick Lugard, right? I don't think Nigeria can work because I think they actually got it wrong from the onset, even down to the stage of naming the country Nigeria as a whole. They totally got it wrong. So we are actually living in a contraption that cannot work. And looking at how many years, it's over 60 years now, you can see that these things are actually coming to reality. It can't work. It can't work. So why do we keep killing ourselves over a country that cannot work instead of just leaving that particular country and forming a country that we can actually, start from grassroots, do the right thing, and do the needful to make it work? It is not easy, quite all right. I know. But it is worth trying. And that is why these men are no longer trying, because they've tried earlier. They've seen the actualization. They've seen the reality. They know they can actually get it in any ways. I listened to this voice note, this audio, and I was really touched. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a rare gem. Honestly, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a real gem, and seeing someone like the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, carrying that mantle of leadership and doing, exactly what Nnamdi Kanu would have done is something to actually behold. But meanwhile, there's a video that's been trending on social media currently. For those that follow most of the Biafran and community on S handle, you could have seen this video where so you see troops, you see military troops, with their equipment and weaponry moving into Biafran land. Let me tell you one thing. For those of you who do not know and do not understand, there is a lot of issues happening in Biafran land. Here and there, innocent people are being killed. And that is why, at this point in time, it is time for you to know where you stand. The other side. Know your stance, because it has gotten to the level, where we know it has gotten to the level where if you cannot speak out on where you belong to, then you'll be sieved out. If you can't stand your ground, you'll be easily sieved out. And it has gotten to the level where Biafrans have to unite more, to defend their territory. Just the same way the Biafran Liberation Army are making sure that Biafran territory are being defended. On that note, let us listen to these brief clips, both from the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and also from the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and Joko. Then further, we'll go into a critical issue during the Biafran War that every Biafran needs to listen to. Make sure you share this video to as many groups and platforms as possible. Happy Sunday.
stealing money belonging to everybody. These same men cannot be responsible for the length and breadth of the death, the abominable things they continue to do to the people in that ground. Things are very, very different, believe you me. Very, very different, and very soon the world will hear about it. Because the only language that people in the zoo understand is the language of violence and force. After all, that very contraption was put together by Freddy Lugard by force. That's one thing people don't understand, that Lugard killed people to bring Nigeria together. And the killing of people to disintegrate the zoo shouldn't come to anybody as a surprise. Our promise is very simple. If they fail to give us Biafra, Somalia will look like a paradise compared to what will happen to that zoo. It is a promise, it is a prayer, it's a pledge, and it's also a threat to them. They must understand this, that we've had enough of this nonsense. These criminals cannot be stealing money belonging to everybody. These same men cannot be responsible for the length and breadth of the death, the abominable things they continue to do to the people in that very country. Every day, every week, every month, and every year, we cannot allow that to continue. It's impossible for us to let that continue, because this nonsense has to come to an end. What in Ghana must happen.
Now, let me ask you, when his name was announced as the leader of the Igbo delegation, so why didn't your group question the governors that appointed him the leader of the Igbo people to the national conference?
It's because the governors you have in Biafra land are an extension of the Hausa Fulani hegemony. They were appointed by Hausa Fulani men to come and do the bidding of Hausa Fulani oligarchy in that very part of the world. So it didn't come to us at all as a surprise. Every Igbo governor you have has a Hausa Fulani godfather. Hausa Fulani people put them there. They are there to do their bidding. If you go to Imo State, you'll understand what I'm saying. Rocha Sokorocha, or whatever his name is, has single-handedly Islamized the whole of Imo State. And that very process is also ongoing in Ebonyi State. Are you talking about Theodore? He is pathetic and laughable. These are the men they gave to us as it P2B. You're a journalist yourself, Okonkwo. Nobody has ever asked P2B about Izu River. How many people he killed at Izu River and dumped their bodies there? They are also human beings with fathers and mothers. No one ever complained. These are the caliber of people, the caliber of leeches and cabals they have imposed on us. And we are here to resist it. And we shall, this year, to be very precise.
Now, let me ask you, because there are the group, the Movement for the Actualization of the Sovereign Nation of Biafra. I'm familiar with the group, and I know that one of their principal ideas is that this should be done in a peaceful way. Is your group opposed to a peaceful way of achieving Biafra, or are you in support of both sides, whether peaceful or non-peaceful? What is your group behind?
I support both sides. If they give us peace, that is wonderful. If they decide to go down the route of violence, then I can give you this assurance today. Of course, your worldwide listeners and viewers may be able to note this. If they do not give us Biafra, there will be nothing living in that very zoo they call Nigeria. Nothing will survive there, I can assure you. You see, 1967 to 1970 is not 2013 to 2015. We had scientists then. Now we have men that can make things happen, even better than what we had in the late 60s. So that should ring as a warning to all of them that we are not joking. I do not believe in peaceful actualization or whatever rubbish is called. I have never seen where you become free by peaceful means. If you know, you tell me. I'm a student of contemporary history. I have never come across anywhere in history books where you get your freedom out of a peaceful process. It's never happened. Never, ever, ever.
Now, let me ask you, if you look at the world today, look at a place like Scotland, where people, the Scottish, are in the process of trying to see if they will get their own country. Basically, the way they went about it was to say, we want to be separate from the British England, and they are putting a process where they will vote, and if majority of them say they want to move, and they will move. Now, I want to ask you, do you think that if you ask majority of Igbo people today whether they should be part of Nigeria or part of Biafra, that you have the numbers that will come to your side of the argument?
Yes, we have over 98% of our people willing. The other 2% are those fathered by Hausa Fulani men as a consequence of the war. Everybody born as a Biafran, everybody born as an Igbo, Ibibio, Efik, Anangebanke, anybody born as a Jo has freedom implanted in their DNA. That is why we have autonomous communities. Have you seen anywhere in the world where you have autonomous communities? Have you seen? The answer is no. The reason why we have autonomous communities is because we are born to be free. We want to be autonomous, and that freedom must be carried right all the way to the heart of governance in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. We must make this very, very clear and abundantly clear to our people that our quest is for us to be free. You mentioned Scotland. Scotland is already a free nation. What they are seeking in Scotland is independence. We are not free and we are not independent either. So that is why the same scenario doesn't apply at all. In Scotland, as a Scottish person, you have your own parliament. You can do whatever you like. You even have what is called tax-raising powers. You can raise taxes or you can lower them as you like. The Scottish Court of Sessions is in charge of the entire legal process in Scotland.
Now, Nandi, let me ask you. I know. Why don't your group push for that in a place like the national conference that is going on now to get that kind of autonomy first, rather than now pushing for independence without whether Nigeria wants it or not?
The fact of the matter is that the structures doesn't exist. The institutions that will allow the emergence of a democratic Biafra within a peaceful setting does not currently exist in that very place you call Nigeria. Mind you, that is the name of a river. Up north, you call them Niger, which is French. If you come down a little bit, it is called Niger, which is English. And the people that live around it are called Nigerians. The only place, or part of the only place in Black Africa where you name a people after a river. I have never seen any civilized country in the world where people are named after a river. It's never happened before. The people own the river, not the other way around. By tacitly accepting the word and the tag Nigeria, what it means is that you never had any history until Frederick Lugard came, which is a fallacy, it's an abomination, and nobody should be saying that. Coming back to what you said, there is no way we can run for office as a political party. We tried it with ABGA and it did not work. These issues were trashed out very well. Is that the people that control the levers of power within Nigeria are not politically sophisticated enough to appreciate the finer point of political discourse. In other words, that disputes resolution can best be conducted within a political setting where people are civilized. And I'm afraid to say that what I see in the zoo they call Nigeria, people are not civilized.
Now, we're out of time, but let me ask you, last week, I believe, the Biafran Zionist movement claimed
follow you and do anything to make this Biafra work when somebody like you have given up everything. Thank you, sir. God bless you. On behalf of Biafrans, we are thankful to you. Ndewo.
Thank you very much. Thank you. As a matter of fact, it is the right thing to do at this point. We need to solve this issue of Biafra once and for all. And for that reason, we need to be very dedicated. I have actually not been participating in some of the political meetings that I've been elected to participate here. And so apart from that, it is just the right thing to do to focus and fight for this Biafra once and for all. And just give everything to it and see it happen, because anybody that is a Biafran that you don't see the green light, even with the difficulty, the complicity, and the evil Nigeria, if you're not seeing the green light at this point, then it means you need to examine yourself. One of the things we have done, which, like I promised Biafra people, is to educate those foreign policymakers in the United States. And that we have done, we have done many years of work just in 1 month. And it is not because of our power, but because God's hand is involved. And that's why it is the right time for Biafra to get their independence. And that's why everything is working smoothly. So we've been able to, we are still going to continue the consultation at the Washington, D.C. to educate those who do not know or who don't have information about why it is very important for Biafra to come. As it is today, there is no amount of pretense Nigeria will do to the United States that they are going to be a good ally to America. It is impossible. Nigeria have told a very strong and dangerous line of extremism, Islamic fundamentalism, and there is no going back. So America, it is our duty as Biafra people to educate the policymakers in the United States to know that they cannot make the mistake they made in Afghanistan, in Nigeria. They cannot make the mistake they made in Syria, in Biafra, or in Nigeria. They cannot make the same mistake they made in Libya, in Nigeria. They cannot make the same mistake they made in Iraq, in Nigeria. These are where you have the most brutal and dangerous Islamic fundamentalism. And however America tried to help them, they turn against them. And that's exactly the line Nigeria have told. So the earlier that particular problem is solved, the better for them. And in Biafra, they are going to have the best allied, that we have the same value system, the same value for human life, dignity, and of course, again, above all, embracing the civilization. And no other country will do that in Africa. So America have a better chance with Biafra people today, better than any other country in Africa. And if they lose Biafra, they lose Africa completely. I don't think they will have this knowledge that we are trying to impact on them today, and they will make a different choice, the choice that have failed them for many decades. Africa is very, very important to the West and America, and Biafra remain a cardinal point, in a very strategic point where the interest of this whole civilization lies on. The interest of America, interest of the West lies in Biafra. I am telling you the fact. The Gulf of Guinea is connected to Biafra, and today, because of the failure of the government, because the government has collapsed, because the Nigeria state is never a state that is supposed to stand among nations, they have failed. And that's why you have the piracy, the upsurge of the piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. Biafra will end that. Immediately Biafra become an independent state, we will strengthen the security and those interests that is being threatened in the by the piracy will end. Biafra also will end the upsurge of terrorists in Sahel. The only interest they have is to make Nigeria a safe haven for only one reason, because of the natural resources in Biafra land. And once Biafra become an independent state, for the fact that Biafra is pronounced an independent state, it will solve the upsurge of terrorists in the Sahel by 50 to 60%. The rest will put it on check with the Biafra security forces. So by then, Europe and America do not need to be worried about, this what is going on today, where they are sending envoys, sending this and sending that, and people are dying because the government is complicit. Biafra will have a military and security forces that will not be allegiance to any terrorist group. That is a plus. Today, Nigeria is recruiting them. Nigeria is training them 6 months and give them arms and ammunition, and they go to villages to commit atrocities against civilians. Biafra forces will be completely different. I just want you to listen to me with plain mind, and there are many things that we need to educate the people in the United States and beyond. And that's exactly what we are doing now with lobbyists, our lobbyists, and it is penetrating, and the messages were received. We've not come across anyone from the Congress that has shown any kind of support for Nigeria, because it's a long time coming. It's something that I have anticipated for many years. And it is not that they don't know that we not want our freedom, but the right people and the right time. And here we are. We have demonstrated that we are capable of running a government. We'll be doing it from exile, succeeded this far, raising army, putting in place government institution all over the world. In addition, activating the Biafra de facto government, creating state, defining our map. What else do you want us to do to show that we are ready to go? Biafra, with what we have done, if well documented, I don't think any country who have fought for freedom has ever attained the level that the Biafra government has attained before getting independence. But we have done it today because we know we are going to do extra thing. We need to go extra mile. We need to do things that other people do not do, never did, in order to get our freedom, because our own case is very, very peculiar. Everybody is interested in Nigeria. So you need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that, yes, you are ready to go. And that's why we are doing extra things and extraordinary things, so that by the time comes, everything will go smoothly and easily. And that's what we're doing. So even at that, some people will still doubt our resolve, but it is part of the game. We are here to end the impunity and rescue our people, including you and myself. May God bless you. From here, from me, is good evening. Airborne!
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 Thank you very much.
Evangelist.
It's at the early stage of the war.
No. Now, for even keeping Nigeria with all the armament and all, for 3 years, they've tried.
They tried.
They tried. They were very tactical too. Very tactical. But then, they were always very mindful of the strength and the superiority in arms.
The superiority in arms.
No,
Nigeria was well armed.
No, we were using British and American this thing, where they solely dependent on Chinese and Chinese weapons.
And Chinese weapons were not as good.
No, not as good as British or American.
So they were dislodged in a hole, like they were dislodged from Ore. So from a hole,
to Asaba, 150 miles or 100 and something.
And it was a free movement.
No. It can never be a free movement.
They were still on the road.
They were on the road. And where it was possible for us to sail on a vehicle, we move. When we are attacked, we have to clear that something before leaving.
How do military clear an area? How do you do that?
When you have a pin down, when you are fired, when you notice the appearance of enemy, they will fire. How do you notice them? They keep on firing you. Then what do? You will be pinned down and continue to do what you know how to do best. What you know how to do best. And it can take you days, it can take you 1, 2, 3 days, but you have to clear that portion of enemy before.
How do you clear it? How is it cleared? You fire back?
Yes, you fired back.
With better weapons?
Even whatever they were using at that time, even Ogunigwe was not a weapon. Whatever can kill.
Did you experience Ogunigwe attack?
I know. Why not?
Can you tell me about Ogunigwe?
Ogunigwe is pieces of iron, pieces of bottle, pieces of and to be ignited by petrol. Then it's thrown wherever it is landed. Pieces of iron, pieces of this clustered together. It's a weapon.
And it was a dangerous weapon.
Very, very. When something is a weapon, it's dangerous.
So when 2nd Division got to Asaba, what then happened?
Yes, Asaba. Well, we captured Asaba October 5, 1967. But do you know, right from Eho, we were forced to pin down at behind St. Patrick. No, St. Patrick is in Asaba. I don't know whether it's very close to Asaba. That time it was just like a kilometer plus. But I don't know whether St. Patrick's is inside Asaba now. But that time,
It's also close to Okpanam.
yes, close to that area.
Yeah. Zogu is was from Okpanam.
Yes. Yeah, we had an encounter in his town,
Okay.
Opanam. But we still say through. We cleared the pocket of enemy and we say through. Till we got to St. Patrick, 4th of October, 1967. 4th.
So when you got to St. Patrick,
Yes, it rained around 6. We were forced to pin down.
so when it rained, what did you do? You go into hideout?
Well, if there is a hiding out portion,
You take over buildings in areas you capture?
that is where you have buildings. What of if where we do not have buildings?
So what do
You do that in a build-up area. What do you do when you have no build-up area?
So what do
In
you
the
do?
bush, what do you remain there? Will you
And rain we
rain beat you and get dried again and again? Then what do you do?
how do you eat?
No, we eat.
Who brings the food?
No, it's the same soldiers. We have people at the rear, far.
Okay.
They will cook, make the cooking, then brought them down where motor can, they are at a cleared area, an area where we consider safe, but no area is very safe because flying bullet can still kill them there. Flying bullet can fly over the troops at Feba, front edge of battle area, and hit somebody behind. So nowhere is properly safe, but only God is safe human being. So they will cook, bring either 2 head or whatever it is. You cannot fight without eating now.
So you have to withdraw those on the front to go and eat. So while they are eating, you move some others.
No, you cover their movement.
How do you do that?
You don't move forward. If you capture the place, you pin down.
Okay. What
If
pin
possible,
down is you possess it.
Yes, you make all round defense and wait for further instruction. It may be you will be asked to proceed or give chance. Now, for example, when Agbo was captured, my commander, Godwin Ali, was telling us that he would have been the one to capture Agbo, if not the nasty experience he had at Eho. If Eho had been a safe troop, he would have been the one to capture Agbo.
Who then captured Agbo?
I'm told it's 8th Brigade.
Okay.
So he came and he said he would have been the one to capture Agbo. So when we got to the junction, Agbo junction, we were asked to move. That is, those who captured Agbo were mandated to pin down and give chance to 7th Brigade to go ahead. So if you capture a place and you are instructed to pin down, you pin down. If you are instructed to proceed, another group will be coming to take over where you've captured. Otherwise, that place could still be recaptured by the enemy. So that is how it is.
On the war front, is there a break? Do they say, okay, Lieutenant Colonel Ajayi, can you withdraw and have a break and let others proceed?
Yes, it happens that way. That's the example I've just given. If 8th Brigade had captured Agbo and was asked to pin down and give way to 7th Brigade to proceed, that's all.
So when they are pinning down, they are resting.
Are they resting?
And that's what I'm trying to say. So the soldiers, when the soldiers
no
give
rest.
off,
No, nothing like resting. everything will be going simultaneously. You don't rest.
You don't
rest.
sleep?
How will you sleep? As I'm speaking with you now, I don't know. I don't sleep at night.
You don't?
I can never sleep at night.
Why?
It's because of that nasty experience I had at Onono. You are fond of sleeping. Somebody will just crawl very close to you. I was another rank. I was a sergeant. Somebody will cross close to you and cut, because if he fired, that sound of that firing will have attracted people to know that somebody will come. They can cut people's head like 7.
That happened?
It happened. It happened like that.
War is nasty.
War is bad. I don't pray for war. War, like General Cristali said, you know, if you are positioning people, you are protecting the lives of people, but opening your own life to risk,